I'm going live. I'm live. Awesome. I don't know if anyone will show up, but that's okay because I am procrastinating. That's right, folks. I am procrastinating. It's Monday. It's 7 minutes past. Whoa! Seven just shows how dark it is in this little corner of my room where I work. It's not ideal. Holy balls! What's going on there? Cable's gotten a bit caught. But yeah, it's 7 minutes past 12 on Monday, the 8th of March. How is it March already? I don't know, but it is. And yeah, I'm procrastinating whilst drinking a mug of tea. Hiya! Lovely to see you, Elaine. And I have the last remnants of my 11s, which is the other half of a mini Victoria sponge cake, which is pretty good. It's vegan, obviously. It's by a company called Oggs. You can get it in the supermarket. And I hadn't had them before, but someone bought them for us for Simon's birthday, my husband's birthday, and posted them to us with some other presents. And we were like, oh, okay, let's give these a go. Pretty good. Although it's a bit late for 11s, but I was filming a tarot video because I was filming as well. I'm like, oh, I have things I need to do today because my Etsy shop opens in a week. In fact, by this time next week, less than a week, right? The Etsy shop will be open. And here I am filming tarot videos and streaming. Oh my God. It's like I need the pressure of a deadline. And because it's a week out, I'm like, I got time. And why do I do that? Do other people do that? Do you find yourself procrastinating? And it could be anything, right? It could be a chore that you need to do. It could be some paperwork that needs to be filed in order to apply for something. It could be something really huge or something that's going to be beneficial to you, but you just keep delaying it and delaying it. There's things that I have delayed for months and months on end. And then when I do the thing, it took like between 5 and 10 minutes. Do I ever learn anything from, that experience? No, I just then continue to delay and procrastinate on all those like little 5-10 minute things. And the problem is, right, those 5-10 minute tasks, they end up adding up. So then your lists just get longer and longer if you just done it in the first place. And I always feel so much better when I've done the thing, right? So why do we do that? I think I have an idea of why I do that, and it's to do with a certain amount of neurological divergence, which may be getting investigated hopefully at some point when the pandemic's over. But it's really annoying. Let's see who's in the room. So obviously Elaine's here, Celtic Roots Tarot. Marsha's here. Hello, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. Wow, you are up. And Adam, Amanda G, Ellen Books and Tarot. Oh, my phone is ringing and my husband can't answer it because he's working. This is typical. Is he going to answer it? It's my mum. He's telling her I'm on the phone, but yeah. Was that my mum? Yes. I'm live. I was like, bloody typical. I thought you were on the phone. Well, similar. Oh, wow. Anyway, so yeah, that was my mum calling. I'll call her back afterwards. So what's that? Someone says I'm a Virgo, so no procrastination. Yeah, I wish I wasn't a procrastinator, but it's not so much for me about star signs as to do with the way that my brain is wired. Like on an actual, literal, physical level. Let's see. I caught an impromptu live. Hello, nice to see you. Procrastinate, yeah, right. It's a thing. Kim Moon Whisper, hello. Van Mar, hello. My fur babies have you up at 4:45 and 5 in the morning. Oh my God. That is hardcore. Dr. Nomi, she only gets up when it's time for her breakfast. She has an automatic feeding bowl that has a little recording of my voice telling her that it's food time. And she jumps off the bed and bombs it downstairs and inhales her food because she likes to be snuggly and toasty in all the blankets. On our bed, Aquarius Al. Hello, lovely to see you. So yeah, I've been, so what was I talking about? I was talking about procrastinating, which is a problem considering I haven't really made any art or done anything for my other channel, my art channel, for the last 3 or 4 weeks because I was in a pit of anxiety and I struggle to do anything when I'm in that headspace. Butterfly Love Child, good morning. So over the weekend, I had Saturday, I was feeling kind of down. I think it might have just been sort of hormonal stuff. Yesterday, I just felt really tired and just feeling really overwhelmed and anxious about everything, which is kind of normal for me, but like more so. And I think that obviously part of it is the pandemic. It's not helping. This Thursday, the 11th of March, will be exactly 1 year since myself and my husband sort of went into shielding from COVID. 1 whole year. 1 whole year. 1 whole year without seeing, the people that I love and care about. 1 year without working, doing hair and makeup. 1 year without hugging my family. 1 year without going to the cinema or out to eat anywhere, or it's I think I'm feeling it, right? It's a lot, but then I've had other health stuff going on, which then is like an added layer of crap on the crap sandwich. And then I've got this whole shop opening thing that I need to get my ass into gear with. I've got a whole bunch of bags that I need to photograph. I've started photographing them, but I don't know if the lighting is right because I've been trying to do it up here. Whereas before I used to do it downstairs in the kitchen because there's lots of great natural light straight onto the kitchen table. So I may have to retake a bunch of photos, and I'm like, oh God, it's like I've wasted time doing work that wasn't good enough. And having to like motivate yourself when you just feel like you're stuck in a quagmire, it's really, really frustrating. And then on top of that, trying to my studying and the things that I wanted to achieve this year, it's really, really tricky. Like I haven't picked up my sketchbook in about maybe 2 weeks, maybe a bit longer. I'm looking over at my my bookshelf because my sketchbook is up there. Just really, really struggling. And there's books like, where's the book? Oh, I've left it downstairs. But there's this candle magic book that I started reading in January, and I showed it on this channel, and I was really getting into it. I'm halfway through it now, but it's not a huge book. But my concentration issues are so bad. I just can't focus on anything. Watching a film is difficult. Listening to podcasts even, I've been finding really difficult. And that's usually something I find I can at least do that, just like listen while I do other things. But yeah, it's just, done is better than perfect sometimes helps me. Yeah, that does help sometimes. Vanmar, I procrastinate because my to-do list is overwhelming and I need something like to reload. Yeah, and I also find that I have so many things that I need to do, and then I have a list of things that I would really like to do, like fun things or studying or books that I want to read or tarot decks that I want to dive into or a show or a film I might really want to watch. But then I get this like overwhelm of trying what's it called, like decision anxiety. So I've got my to-do list, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's work out what is the most urgent. And you work out what's most urgent, but there could be like a whole bunch of stuff that's actually kind of urgent, and then you're like, well, then which of one of those do you pick? And then I end up picking nothing and almost like rocking back and forth in the corner of a room. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean, like rocking back and forth on the sofa is probably more realistic. just like, I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to do. And so I do nothing. Has anyone ever done that thing where you like, let's watch something on Netflix or whatever streaming service of choice you have? And then you spend so much time looking through the things that you could watch that you end up not picking anything. And you're like, 2 hours have gone by and I've not watched anything. Yeah, so that's the thing. I often have not enough energy to decide or to do nice things too. That's a very good point. I should mention most people here that have been following my channel for a long time know that I live with chronic illnesses which affect my energy levels. So I have, I get fatigued, I get pain, and so it's really, I have limited resources. And I know people say, well, just have a nap, or have to do something nice afterwards. But the kind of things that I have, sleeping doesn't necessarily fix the problem, doesn't necessarily refill the tank. So you just got to sort of, hiya Claire, good night everyone. Oh wow, it's nighttime where you are. It's afternoon here in London. So there's that as well. There's this, well, I've got limited resources, energy resources. What do I use those on before I'm tapped out? And then there's always this fear that I have of overdoing it and pushing myself into a flare up where I'm then, stuck on the sofa or stuck in bed for days on end, or maybe a couple of weeks, just done. And then it's like, was it really worth, going mad for one day trying to do all the things? But sometimes I go the other way. I'm like, I got energy, and I'm like, I have to utilize this. And then I do too much because I'm trying to make the most of it. And then the fallout from that is not great. So Marsha says, oh, Kelly, I know what you mean. I have Ella's dad. Yeah, you're hypermobility, EDS. I got quite a few friends with EDS. So my ligaments stretch but does not go back. So my joints go out of place. I have so many friends with EDS, actually. Yeah, I feel for you. Melissa says, I've got to run to work. Just wanted to pop in and say hi and say how hi there I am for this random live. How there I am? Oh, how here you are. Oh, as in, I'm so there. I get it. My cake, I can hear my cake whispering to me, going, eat me, eat me. So I am going to just, on camera. We did a video on a cancer scare. Do you have an update on that? That video, the one from January 2022, that was over a year ago. So I was diagnosed. I found a lump, and because it was all over the Christmas and New Year's period, this was before COVID. Everything was delayed because of holidays and people being off and stuff. Hello, Chris. You all right there, my dear? And yeah, it was not a great time, and it was all over Christmas. It ruined Christmas somewhat, and it ended up, the lump was called a hamartoma, which are quite rare, which is why they were confused and ended up doing 2 rounds of biopsies, which was very traumatizing. The first time they took 3 samples. The second time they took 5 samples, and they had to come in from a different side because the previous biopsy site hadn't healed. So that was a lot. But actually, I keep alluding to health stuff that's been going on. One of the health things that I was dealing with was another breast cancer scare, believe it or not, over the last couple of months, just trying to work out what was going on. But I was at the hospital last Tuesday, and I'm okay. Everything's okay. So that's one less thing to worry about. But yeah, when I say I've got some health stuff going on, I've got some health stuff going on. I'm waiting on exploratory surgery for something. It's a whole thing. And in the middle of a pandemic, when I'm immunocompromised, it's really scary. So it's really hard to keep my headspace positive, But yeah, so I feel like my body just hates me. It just doesn't behave. It's tired and it's hurts, and we have a family history of breast cancer and cervical cancer, and all those all those things just feel like there's just history of lots of gynae issues, endometriosis and fibroids and just all sorts of stuff, and I'm just I just really don't need all this on top of a pandemic. So yeah, I've been really distracted, really distracted. I've not been on my usual like social justice warrior bent that I'm usually on, because I just quite frankly don't have the spoons to, sorry, not the spoons, because not everyone knows what spoon theory is, but don't have the energy or the bandwidth to deal with other stuff. I'm just literally trying to tread water and keep my head like I literally, yeah, keep my head above water without, you know, bottoming out. So let's see who else is in here. Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, says, "Hi Kelly Bear, what a treat. Lovely to see you. Where's Makoma Arta? Is she sneaking in and payback exhaustion is no fun? Physio advice was to dance with the pain. Yeah, not great, which actually meant to pace ourselves with our tolerance and self-expectation levels. Yeah, it's really with our tolerance and self-expectation levels. Yeah, it's really tricky, isn't it? Butterfly love to, yeah, it's been rough, and like being in and out of hospital appointments, and like I had to give more blood for blood tests on Friday just gone for another thing they're checking on. I'm just like, I feel like they could probably fill a bucket with the amount of blood I've given in the last couple of months. Yeah, it's one thing less thing to worry about. We just got to get to the bottom of a bunch of other stuff now. So it's like the beginning of, I feel like I'm on a journey and this is just the beginning of it. So you've had to go through that twice. Well, actually, that's the third time I've been through that process. The first time was 10 years ago. And then obviously having two in just over a year was like not ideal. But because of our family history, we have to get it checked out. The surgeon, the doctor that I spoke to was like, "You did it was absolutely the right thing." They were concerned that the hematoma could, because it was causing pain, that maybe it was growing and pushing on other parts of my breast. But it's stable. That's stable. There's another area that's causing pain, but that seems to be normal tissue, and they think that's hormonal. And then the other pain, they think it's the scar tissue from the previous biopsies that's causing the shooting pain. So it's the whole thing anyway. So, but yeah, so. But the hospital were great, and they've been very supportive. I had endometriosis too. This was 40 years ago. It was so hard to get a doctor to believe me. I had breast cancer scare too. They found my cells were overactive. Oh, Marsha. Yeah, my sister has endo. My aunt has endo. I have suspected endo. I'm waiting for a laparoscopy on that. It's even difficult, even to this day, for people to get diagnosed with endometriosis. The average time it takes for people to be diagnosed with endo is 8 years, even today. So, and I've been going to the doctor with like terrible like period pains and all sorts of issues since I was about late teens, and they're like, "Oh, it's just you just have sore periods. That's just normal." Like, I'm pretty sure vomiting and fainting is not fucking normal. Like this, the dismissal, the amount that women are supposed. If men were bleeding out their penises once a month, you bet you that there would be annual leave, the holiday leave for period time, and there would be all sorts of medical interventions and medications. You just know it, right? It's easier to get Viagra than it is to get a vasectomy than it is to get birth control and a hysterectomy. Patriarchy. So, oh, that cake were really nice, lovely. Fellow Spoonie. Yeah, you Spoonies. Yeah, spoon theory is a great explanation. It was a rough time, and to think you haven't had a hug from family through it. No hugs. Hugs from my dog. Hugs from my husband, which have been lovely, but yeah, no hugs from anyone else. Ellen Books and Tarot. They finally took me serious with endo now. My uterus needs to be removed because it is attached to my colon. See what I mean? They wait till stuff gets really, really bad. I've been complaining for years, and it's taken for me to be having not just cycle-related pain, but to have constant pain all the time. Like I have constant pain with other issues, other illnesses, but like constant pelvic pain. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll give you a laparoscopy." I did have an ultrasound and stuff as well, but they're like, because of COVID, that could be like a year or more from now. But I had a pre-op assessment about 3 or 4 weeks ago because they said, we just want you to have you ready just in case something does pop up on the off chance. But they'd put everything on hold. On top of all this patriarchy, stress disorder. Yeah. Oh dear, got trolls in. Right, Ant. I'm swallowing tea right now. I hate when they throw a pill at you for the pain. Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I went to see one particular male doctor. And I said, I get pain leading up to my period, and then I get really bad pain after my period. And he was like, well, just take painkillers. And I said, but I've tried loads of over-the-counter stuff, and it's not really doing it. So he said, well, I'll prescribe you these pills called Ponstan. I don't know if that's... But I don't know if that's like a brand name or whatever. Yeah, it was... oh, Sea Willow is here. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you, my dear, with that wrench. And I just think it's hilarious because trolls just make me laugh. They think they're being so edgy, and I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, about the Ponstan, that was it. And he was like, you just need to take them when the pain starts and then through your period. And I'm like, you want me to be on painkillers for 14 days out of every 28? And he was like, well, if you're in pain, then you just... And I'm like, you want me to be on painkillers for 14 days out of 28? I'm like 20, and that's your answer. I remember when I was about 21, 22, and I went to the doctors, and I had to go have my routine smear, and they're like, you know, how are your periods? And I'm like, just really awful, just really bad. And this practitioner, nurse, straight up said to me, you should have a baby because that makes period pains less bad. I was like 21 or 22. I was in the middle of doing a degree and not in a relationship. Also, maybe I don't want kids. I don't. I'm 40. I still don't want kids. And funnily enough, at that time, I was dating a woman. So that would have been really, really interesting. And I find it so fascinating. Like, I went for a laparoscopy a couple of weeks ago. Not a laparoscopy. That's what I'm waiting for. A colposcopy, which is a camera up the old hoo-ha. And the gynecologist said, what form of contraception are you using? I'm like, wow, that's a massive, like, fucking presumption that I'm using any. Second of all, like, what if I, like, whenever I've been in a relationship with a woman, I've not had to use contraception for obvious reasons. I usually would use the mini pill, the combined pill, because it just regulated my menstrual cycle and made my periods less heavy and less bad. This has become Periods Chat with Kelly Bear. What a random live. You don't look a day over 45. Thanks, darling. Oh dear. How old are you? 12. Yeah, let's just so yeah, it's just weird. But talking of what do you call it? Trolls. There's this one troll that follows me. And tries to, like, messages me on multiple platforms. They've messaged me. I think they've posted comments in Facebook groups, like tarot Facebook groups. They've posted comments underneath my my YouTube videos. They've even found me over on Etsy and sent messages via Etsy, and I find it just really bizarre that it's very obvious when it's this particular person because they have a certain way of writing and they use certain phrases. They repeat a lot of the same phrases and insults. And I think they've even shown up in some of my live chats, but they obviously change their accounts and they're sort of variations of the name is a variation of a theme a lot of the time. And I find it, first of all, fascinating that someone would spend their time creating multiple, like, dummy accounts and then spend their time. And I know that this troll has, like, trolled other community members as well. They spend their time, like, hate watching And then they like thumbs down, which by the way, trolls, is still engagement, is classed as engagement by YouTube and still bumps our out like puts us up the algorithm. So thanks. But also like who, I mean, I know there's a pandemic and maybe they got lots of time on their hand, but they've been doing this for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, I feel kind of sorry for them. Like that's like their hobby, I think. Like, what do you do for fun? Oh, I troll. I hate watch stuff and post comments. And the thing that cracks me up is like the insults. Like I remember this person would come into my live chats a couple of years ago and go, "You're fat," and I'd be like, "Yeah." So you have eyeballs. That's nice for you. Mr. Point out the obvious. Oh, that's like when I was a kid and people go, "Oh, ginger, ginger," but like, "Oh, wow, you can tell what color my hair is." It's very bizarre. It's very asinine. But they sent me. Let me see if I can find it because, oh my god, I've started collating a bunch of these messages so that I can look at them and laugh at them. And there's this one particular troll. Basically, I save their messages and then I send them to my friends, and we just laugh at how fucking stupid they are. Like, good luck, trolling Kelly Bear, because it literally fucking waters off a duck back. Never take criticism from someone you'd never take advice from, right? That's the saying. Like, hang on, here it is. They go under the name of Lucian for this one. I'll read this out for you. This was sent to me via Etsy. So they've gone to my shop and pressed message. Like, this person spent their valuable time on this planet doing this, and I knew it was this particular troll because of what they said. So here we go. Let's see. I hope you choke on your own tongue, you red-headed chubby slut. P.S. You can't read Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, let alone trying to read the Thoth. Hope you fall into a ditch of barbed wire. And I don't know why that last line just sent me. I could not stop laughing for about 5 minutes. I hope you fall into a ditch of barbed wire. I mean, points for creativity, but I knew it was this particular one because they said, I hope you choke on your own tongue. And they've used that one quite a bit before in the past. I hope you choke. And they like to call me fat, but they've downgraded me from fat to chubby, which is hilarious because I've lost weight. I'm actually now what would be classed as a UK 10, maybe 8 to 10, a US like 6 to 8, maybe. No, 10. No, a US 6. That's what I've gotten down to. So, but chubby. Oh, they like to call me a fat-faced whatever. I'm a slut, apparently. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a slut, even if I was one. So, I'm a tarot slut. What else was it? Can't read Rider-Waite-Smith. Do you know what? I do struggle with Rider-Waite-Smith these days because I'm so much more a Marseille person and a Pitt person. So maybe there's something there. But yeah, I'm like... A US 6 is a UK 10, Jennifer, because you're 2 sizes smaller. So I have to, yeah. So if I'm a 10, that's what I am at the moment. Because also unexplained weight loss. I was deliberately losing weight and then I stopped. But yeah, it still seems to be going down. So I've been having lots of blood tests because it's a concern. Yeah, what a sad person. Like, but I feel a bit sorry for them because, like, you know. And they sort of sneak into the hermit's cave, and they will occasionally send messages going, "I'm still in the hermit's cave," blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, okay, well, whatever. Like, fill your boots. If you cause problems, we'll just boot you. But if you're just watching and typing, like, what? Who gives a fuck? Like, whatever. You're petite and quite adorable. I'm 5'2". I'm pretty short. Oh my god, what a knob! I know, but like. But come on, it is funny. I think I've got it's on my hard drive, which I've not got plugged in, my external hard drive. But I've got like a folder of like just troll comments because I keep thinking I'd like to do a Kelly Bear reads mean, that mean tweets thing that they do. What is it? Not Jimmy Kimmel or Saturday Night. There's a show and an American like nighttime show where they get celebrities to read their mean tweets. But I'd like to maybe do like a Kelly Bear reads troll comments, just so we can have a good laugh. Can you imagine? Get a couple of drinks in and just read these. But yeah, it's kind of like that's sad. That's what they do. And I think that their comments are really funny. Sorry if you're watching this, but and you know what? That's the thing, because there are other people that would maybe read their comments, and it might really affect them. So I am aware that trolling really is a problem. I just think for some trolls, they're picking on people that it's not really you're ineffective. Basically, you're an impotent troll. So yeah, but that's just one of the examples of their stuff. But like, can you imagine like chasing someone? Oh, they found me on Facebook as well, like following me, like trying to message me on Facebook. I'm like, get a life. Oh my god. Let's see what's going on in the chats. I better go make lunch. Lovely to see you here, Elaine. You take care. You love my ghost. Oh, my ghost earrings. Yes. I showed there's a studio vlog on my art channel, and I film myself sewing these little ghosties because I want to put earrings in my Etsy shop as well. So I've got the like little love hearts with like swear words and little phrases on them. I've got ghosts. There's the big coffins that I did, the big felt coffins. So yeah. Yeah, Van Mar, what? Having a baby is not a solution to that. What? Yeah, trust me. And there was actually a report that went out yesterday or the day before, I saw on Twitter, by the BBC, saying that even women, young women today, are still being told that they should have a baby here in the UK. And I'm talking about, for me, I was 20 years ago. 2020. I was 20 years old 20 years ago. And yet young 20-year-old women today are being told the same absolute stupid just advice. Oh man, I just get this person selling herpes cures on my channel. Herpes cures. What is wrong with people? Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Like, even when I was bigger, right, it was like, it just is what it is. I was on medication. For the most part, it was like my medication that I was on at the time just made me balloon up. But for me, it was more important that I got my headspace right, you know. And someone pointing out that I was fat was like, okay, well, that's actually just a fact. It's like saying you're short. I am short. I'm 5'2". I don't know, mate. I was so heavily bullied throughout my school career and as a child. I think it just made me just really thick-skinned. And as I've gotten older as well, you're like, you don't fucking know me. You see what I put, like, this person sees what I put out on a channel, and you know, but that's not all of who I am. And if you don't like me, that's fair enough. I don't think anyone is liked by every single person in the world. But the fact that they spend their valuable time, you know, doing that is like, wow, that's wild to me. Because they've obviously seen that I've made a video about, you know, starting to study the Thoth tarot. So they've taken, like, why are you? It just blows my mind at the same time, because I'm like, I don't waste my time. If I'm watching a YouTube video and I click on it and I either don't really jive with the person, or I don't find the content interesting, or I just actively really feel, even if I feel sort of like I'm watching a video about someone that's been really, really awful about something, my response isn't to like dislike the video and leave a comment. I just close the video. Like, but you know, everyone's different strokes for different folks. But yeah, so they're obviously following what I do, and I'm like, more fool fucking you. Like, anyway, they've had more than enough airtime. I just thought it was funny. They've had their little 15 minutes of fame. There we go. Right now I'm embracing the chunky goddess look. Good for you, Marsha. You have to read them in weird voices too. Oh my god, that would be so funny, Jennifer, just to have all the mean like troll comments and just read them in like silly voices. That would be brilliant. We can all have a good laugh. That's such a good idea. Turn that shit around and actually give us all a laugh. Well, this is the thing. This is what this person keeps sending me, these mean comments, and they literally crack me up every single time. Like the last one that I got, that one, I saw it in the morning when I got up, and then as soon as my husband was up, I'm like, I got a message. It's been a while, but come and read, like, look at this. And he's like, oh, that's mean. And I'm like, but come on, like, how sad. Crohn's, intuition. I'm 62, major illness. All I can embrace it. Time to make breakfast. You take care, Nancy. Looks like your glasses chain is working. Every time I'm looking for my glasses, I am thinking of you and your chain. It is amazing. And then like when I'm like in the kitchen, like cooking, I just sort of, you know, just put them down and I'll just do. And then when I'm back at the screen or looking at, you know, something I need to, and then, yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant. I can't believe I didn't like buy myself one sooner, but I'm leaning into it. So let's see. I think I'm up to date with the comments. There was something else that I wanted to talk about and I can't remember now because I've just gone on such a like tangent about all sorts of other stuff that the actual thing I was thought, oh, I'll talk about that if I go live, has like flown out of my brain. Ooh. But yeah, maybe I'll talk about the things that I wanted to get done this month. So obviously the shop is opening in a week. I want to carry on working through my Psychic Witch book by Matt Oren because I was unable to like really focus on anything, and my meditation practice fell by the wayside for a bit. I wasn't doing any of the exercises in that book, so I'd like to pick that back up this week and start reading the Lon Milo DeKet book again, because like I said, because I was struggling to read anything, this sort of, I just put that aside. So I've got that to carry on reading. You can see where I got to. I've got 2 bookmarks. I've got one which is where I am. Maybe it's about a third of the way, and then this one is the bibliography at the back because there's lots of references, so I like to, instead of keep having to flip to that page, I just have a bookmark in. It makes it easier to read the references. Obviously I would like to, what else was there, finish that candle magic book. What else? I'm just looking over at my bookshelf to see what I've got on there. And yeah, I'd like to get some more stuff up on my art channel, with like art journaling, and I really want to get the tutorials. I'm looking over at my bookcase again because I've got the folder up there, the customize your own ring binder to make it look all like oldie worldy. I would like to get that done up by the end of the month, but I'll have to see how it goes with the Etsy shop because, you know, I might be really busy with it. I might not. It depends how it goes. So I did not need to wear my glasses all the time. Oh, if I did not need to wear, I would totally have gotten a chain. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't need to. I actually don't. I need them for reading and screen time, but I have a feeling the next time I go to the opticians, they might start saying you need to read them all the time. Hello, Candy. Lovely to see you. Oh, a little bear emoji. Cute. Wood Thrush Cottage. Hello, Diane. I'm working on Tarot on Earth and enjoy pip decks too, and reading and practicing Psychic Witch too, very slowly. This is the thing, because I know loads of people going, oh, I'm reading Psychic Witch. And I'm like, oh, really? Because there's exercises in it, I don't want to read past the exercises, because then if I go back to the beginning, my head is going to be focusing on all the other exercises I know are coming down the line rather than the one that I'm just working on. Does that make sense? But yeah, work through it slowly. It's like a course, isn't it? It's a course in psychic development. That was the other thing I was going to show you. That was it. You know, I said I've been starting my tarot journal for my my antique anatomy. So yeah, pip decks, read it, Tarot on Earth. I still haven't finished the last bit of that. I do need to finish that as well. But my tarot journal is now pretty much set up. So I think the last time I did a live, I showed the front cover, and then I've done some stuff in it. So I've got my introduction, which is in a little envelope that I made, and I've got my little intentions, and this is all based off of Dawn Michelle at Boho Tarot's. What's the workshop called? I've actually got the tab here on another thing. Tarot Bound by Boho Tarot. So then she gets you to do your intention for the deck. So I've done that. Lots of little like stamps and collage. And then I've got my like I think this is my first. Oh, someone's text messaging me. Oh, this was my first impressions of the deck. So it says hello, and then I sort of was running out of space, so but I like that. I like that when you get fold outs. And then I've got like the title page for the major arcana, and I've got information from the guidebook about it, and then my own thoughts underneath about the major arcana and the way that Claire Goodchild talks about them versus how I would think about them. And then every page that's set out for each individual card, I just used the Tim Holtz Distress inks to, these ones are dried out. I need to see if I can get re-inkers. You might know, Candy, can you get re-inks for the Tim Holtz Distress inks? Because these ones are dead otherwise. Hello, Kathy, lovely to see you. And then what I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Meow, excuse me. And then I've got another title card. So I've got minor arcana, and then in here I've got my little bit of information. Oh my god, I might have to put a little pull tab, a little bit of information about the minor arcana in the little envelope. Oh my god, I love paper crafts so much. Such a nerd. And then the suit of elixirs and a little bit of that, and I'd stamped a little cup there because although it's elixirs, that is the suit of cups in this deck. And then I've made them all look pretty. Suit of rods, so they've all got their little title cards, a little bit of information. Suit of coins. So yeah, I just did like a little bit of collage and a little bit of stamping and stickers. I just kept it really, really simple. I didn't do my full-on like art journaling for each one because to me that's a whole other thing. Suit of blades, and then I've set up the correspondences page, correspondences section, which is going to be like numerology, the companion cards. It's all information from the guidebook, and then this is the section that will be for all of the spreads and exercises. So it's set up now. Now I can properly start working with it because my head was still really anxious because I had that breast clinic appointment and blood tests at and stuff last week and hospital appointments. My head was too anxious to be able to like sit down and calm. I have to be in a particular kind of mood to study the tarot. I have to feel calm. I have to feel clear-headed. I have to feel like I can focus for at least sit down for at least an hour, which is rare these days. So instead what I did was like, I'm just going to have fun setting up the journal, and then it's ready when I'm ready, rather than doing it as I went along. So yeah, let's see. I am working with Lenormand and Charms right now. Nice. Do you have a favorite Lenormand deck, Marsha? And what kind of charms? Like charms as in like, you know, the kind of charms I put on my my deck pouches, like just random charms. Diane says, I googled Tim Holtz and there is a refresher. It sounds promising. Oh, that's good to know. Candy says, do you have to buy one thing to discuss or just a bottle of ink and edit? Oh, you're talking about, yeah, you can re-ink the distress. I thought I had seen somewhere that you could re-ink them. I just wasn't sure. It is like a dauber, if I remember correctly, and it is a distress ink. Cool. You know what I don't have that I would like to try is the distress oxides, because I know they're different. I'd like to give them a go. So has anyone tried those? This is a bit of a crossover chat to my my art channel, isn't it? But I've been playing with this. Sorry, I don't know if I showed. I made this like pin cushion, and it's a little coffin. Because I was just using like for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been using a scrap of felt, just a folded up scrap of felt to put all my pins in. And I'm like, this is not good enough. So I made myself. I really need some more pins though. I keep losing them or they just break. The little glass bits break off the end. I'm all ink pens, Kelly. I love that coffin. Ink pens. What kind of ink pens do you like, Andy? 1889 Lenormand and Charms that means something to me. Yeah, I think that's good, like making it personal, because then you're it's your own sort of symbolic language. I think that's really cool. I know that Kelly Fitz over at the Truth in Story, her core charm collection was like based off of all the Lenormand symbols, and then she just adds her own personal touches, and I think that's a really nice way to go about it if you don't really know how to start. And I'm always like, I'll build a charm collection. I will, because I'm always buying charms. Well, I haven't bought charms for ages, but I usually have charms for my tarot pouches. But then I'm like, oh, but I could just use it on a tarot pouch. Eleanor, it's nice to see you again. Have to make a couple of calls now. Take care. Leanne says, so cute. Hello, Leanne. Yeah, I haven't used Lenormand for a few weeks. I was just trying to think, what have I got in what Lenormand deck do I have in my current being used decks? I've got my it's the Monster Lenormand. What decks did I pull out to use for March? Oh, and I've got my practice deck. This is the Fairy Tale Fortune cards by Seco Books, I think it is. It's a really cheap set, but I trimmed it down because they were really huge. And if you're trying to do a grind to blow, you need the smaller the cards, the better. This is still a bit big, but it's better than nothing. And then you can see here, like, it's got the name of the card and then a little bit about the card. But then I've also put my own, like, when I did my Lenormand, when I started getting into Lenormand, I wrote my own keywords on there to make it easier. But this one does not have the playing card inserts, because I know some people like to use the playing card inserts. But you can see what I've done is I've actually put the number that the card would be and then the playing card association. So I've got it all on there. And actually, it's pretty obvious which card is which on this, because again, another thing that I know people struggle with Lenormand is not just the fact that some of the cards can be really huge. Like, I have the Golden Lenormand Oracle, and it's beautiful, but it's huge. Like, it's like Weaver's Oracle size. It's really like a stonker. It's huge. And so that's just no good if you're going to do ground to blows. Like, no, to be fair, my main readings are usually 7 cards or the 3x3, the 9 card box. Because I'm still overwhelmed by ground to blows. But I know that people struggle with the size of the cards. And then the other thing is how clear the imagery is, right? Because you want to be able to know what that is at a glance. And there are some really beautiful Lenormand decks out there, but the artwork is so busy that it's, once you lay that out with especially with a ground to blow, like, it's a hot mess and it's really hard to pick out what you're looking at. And I think, people that make Lenormand decks really need to bear that in mind, because if it's too big and or the artwork's too busy, it's not as fit for purpose as something that is simple. So this one's pretty obvious. That's clearly a stack of books, although it's a little confusing because there's the cute little owl. This is clearly the bear. Clearly a fox, clearly fish. So at least it's very clear what it is, which is good. That's a bit loud, sorry. I use the huge Lenormand for kind of moving houses under my small Lenormand. Yeah, so like, I've got a Seeker's Lenormand mini that was gifted to me, and I use that on top of a regular size Lenormand if I want all the houses underneath. But again, it still like twists my melon. I'm not quite au fait with that. I've got Jess Roller's Monster Lenormand, which is just a black and white version. I think she did a color version of this deck as well, and it is just right up my street because it's all like spooky. And she's working on another Lenormand deck at the moment, and it's called the Weird Lenormand or the Strange Lenormand. I think it's Strange Lenormand, and it's color. And if those of you don't know, Jess Roller did the Instagram and an excellent website and blog called Coffee with the Fool, and she makes really lovely deck pouches and bags as well. I've got one of her bags, and she does these little Lenormand cases, and she's turned some of her own artwork into printed fabric, because you can order from places like Spoonflower and have your own artwork printed, and she's made pouches from those, and they're lovely. I'd really love to get one of her Lenormand cases with her own artwork on for my Monster Lenormand. On saying that though, I did make my own little monster for my Monster Lenormand. But yeah, I like that we've got a masculine and a feminine card, but then there's also There's a querent. Look how cute this little creature is. And there's a creature and seeker. So yeah, it's just really, really cute. You've got a two-headed snake. I just love her artwork. It's very cute. It's very whimsical. It's a little spoopy. We've got a scythe, which looks like it's covered in like slime. The dog. It's just such a fun deck. And as you can see, we have the number and the card title on there. So there is that. So it's really love the monster case. Thank you. It's such a cute deck. She did, but I don't know if it came out. What, the colour version? I think she did a limited run of the colour version of this deck, Jennifer. Did someone say Hanny's here? Hanny's here. Hey, hiya, fierce and pretty. Lovely to see you. I got a black and white Lenormand called Lure Lenormand. I've not heard of that one. There is a person on Etsy that sells charms with decks. I have ordered that system to see. Oh, I've ordered that system to see what I think. Oh, cool. Hello from Egypt. Hello, Alex. Lovely to see you. I use the Stabilo Fine Point for colour and Staedtler Pigment Liner for black. That's a brilliant pen. Yeah, I've got the pigment liners. I think, is it these ones? Hang on. Yeah, I've got a bunch of these ones that they're running out. The Staedtler Pigment Liner, and then you said the Stabilo Fine Point. I don't have the Stabilo Fine Points. I've got the Staedtler Tri Plus Fine Liners. These, you know, the grey ones. But yeah, I've seen the Stabilo ones. I've got the you know, the brush pens, but I'm running out of those dual-ended Tombos. But I've gotten some. Have you ever tried the Sakura Pigma Microns? Those beige ones, Candy. I've recently got Simon over at the Hermit's Cave for Christmas. He got me some art supplies. And the pens are, what are they called again? I've wanted them for bloody ages. Some more of my Staedtlers. Oh, there's the Tombow brush, Fudna Suki brush pens in black. But they're water-based. They're not archival ink, but it makes it nice for blending out with a water brush pen. Oh my god, I'm like obsessed with the Prismacolor pencils, but they wear down so quickly because the lead is so creamy and soft and blendable. Oh, it was the Pitt pens. That was it. The Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I think I like these more than the Staedtlers, but we shall see. So yeah, sorry, that was a little bit of a pen sidetrack. So yeah, what else have I got in my box to use? I've got my wooden tarot, which I still need to make a pouch for. I've got my Oracularium that was released last October with the augmented reality. I've got this one is Candy's fault because she made me get this one out again after watching her videos, is the Weaver's Oracle. This deck does intimidate me, not gonna lie. And it's a winter's deck for me, definitely, and we're moving into spring, but I think I'll stick with it. Got my Tarot Classic, the vintage AGM deck with the beautiful like aquas, teals and magentas with the traditional plaid back, and I love it. So I've got that one out. I'm looking to my side because obviously I've got my Antique Anatomy, which is with I've got that with the guidebook and the journal because that's what I want to work with. And then I've got this next to me, which is the Thoth and this, because they're my two main study things for this month. I've got I think this is my Druid Craft. The pouch I made this. Yeah. This is my Druid Craft, which was very kindly gifted to me by Sandra over at the Whispering Well last year. Bless her. This deck is just yummy. I love this deck. Finding it easier to read with this than with a classic Rider-Waite Smith, and I don't know what it is. There's just something about it. I just love Will Worthington's art. It just speaks to me. I don't know. I just love it. Although this is my least favorite card. Oh my god. No, with the baby. Like that baby. Look at this face. That is a face only a mother could love. That kid is up to something. Ugh, Creepy. And then what else have I got? I've got my Tarot del Toro, but that is over on my altar because that's like my go-to. I've been rewatching The Strain. Oh my God, I started season 2 last night. I think I'd only ever seen the first episode of season 2. So from now on, all the episodes will be new to me. I wouldn't have seen them, so I'm very excited. And then I think this is my Smith-Waite Centennial because I like to keep a Smith-Waite deck nearby for study purposes if I do want to refer to it in comparison to the Marseille and the Thoth now as well. So, and it's funny, like I've got the Dirty Pam, which I trimmed, and I've got the Albano Weight, which was gifted to me by Simon at the Hermit's Cave about 3 years ago. Where does the time go? But yeah, I've come back round to this one being my fave. I know Anna Astral Lady Tarot, this is her fave Smith-Waite as well. So yeah, so those are all the decks that I've got to be worked with. And do you know what though, even though I do this 9 times out of 10, I stick to the deck that is like on my, I usually have at least one deck on my desk and I have, can you see? And then my altar there, my tarot deck. Boop, 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 boop. This is the tarot, and it's on a little tray. That's the Tarot del Toro, like a little snack being served up on the there we go. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I will use that deck and whatever deck is to hand at the side, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got this box, even though this box is literally in front of my tarot trolley. This one I pull out all the time because I use it for doing Tarot on Earth and the Tarot Summer School course that Tom Benjamin did. But other than that, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got other decks. And then the other, like I have over 100 decks. There's some boxes in the corner over the other side of my dressing table, and that is like all my other decks. Because I don't have the space. Ideally, I would have a wall like Simon at the Hermit's Cave, and I could just grab whatever I want. But it's just, no, I don't have that. I don't have the space. I barely have the space to have all my arts and crafts stuff. So let alone the tarot stuff. I just need a room of my own. Obviously I didn't coin that phrase. Oh yeah, and the video that I was filming earlier, filming, instead of like it's 1:05 now, I should probably be doing some lunch. But I got sent this in part of a gift swap with my friend Renato, because he heard in my last live that I did that I didn't have I had a Vachetta, but I didn't have a Soprafino. And he was like, oh, you don't have a Soprafino? You must have one in your collection. I'm like, well, thank you. He sent me this. And so I did a walkthrough of this. Although I filmed it again top down on my phone. And I don't know if it's a combination of if it's the lighting. I mean, I've got a big fuck off ring light. Or if it's the camera, if it's a combination thereof, but I just cannot get the lighting right. So the quality, I think, is going to come out really grainy. So it might be like an absolute poo video to watch. So if it is, don't feel like you have to watch it. But I'm hoping I can get my actual proper camera in the next couple of months. I say in that video, actually, that I've got money that I was given for Christmas and birthday from family and from friends, specifically so that I could put it towards a video camera, but I got like cash and checks and stuff sent to me. So now I'm like, well, I need to go into a bank to deposit it into my account, and I can't do that at the moment. I have to wait till it's safe for me to go in. And also my local branch is really, really tiny, and people in my area are not super great at A, wearing masks, or B, social distancing, or paying attention to the no more than 3 people allowed in this shop at any one time signs. So yeah, just have to wait on that. But once that money goes in, upgrade, baby. So let's see, Fierce and Pretty. So I saw Hanny in there. I got Black and White Lenormand, cute deck. Let's see. I use Moving Houses. Oh yeah, I read that one. Hey, Junebug. Here's Junebug. Junebug. Boo, boo, boo. Creepy Kids in the Sun. Sigh, right? Let's see, who else have we got? I've absolutely... Kuretake Sig clear colour brush pens are amazing. Oh, I bet they are, Diane. This has been lovely. I have a dentist. Oh, bless you, Marsha. I hope it goes well, my love. Uniball Signos on my way to go to the pens. Yeah, I've got the Uniball. I've got Uniball Signo, like the white gel pens. Although this is kind of dried up. I've got the what do you call it, pens, the gel pens. I've got a jelly roll at the moment for the white, which is okay. I just thought I'd give that a go because I hadn't tried these since I was a teenager. I used to buy these all the time when I was a teenager. I've got the Signo Uniball in gold, silver, and bronze. So yeah, they're usually the Signo are usually my go-to like gel pens. Pit pens, yeah. Yeah, no, I've noticed my Staedtler. I've watercolored with these over the top, and there they are. Yeah, it even says waterproof on paper on the side. The Pit pens are, but the Fugnosuke Tombos, those are water based, so they blend out with a wet brush. Same pens. I don't have many pens, to be honest, only because of money constraints. I've got a few Posca I love, and Jelly Roll white pens are a must. So glad you have the Weavers. Yeah, I have to admit, a lot of these pens, like for example, if I show you my Letraset, that's how old they are. They're called Letraset. I bought these when I did my fashion degree. So I purchased this in 99, 2000. Still works. And of course you can, because it's the Pantone colors, you can rebuy the things to refill them, the Copics, the ink refills. So, but some of them I've had for ages, like these as well, the Copic chows. But to be honest, a lot of my art stuff, I ask for them for Christmas and birthdays because again, like money constraints, especially now I'm not working. And a lot of the time, if I was buying art stuff, it was for my makeup, my professional makeup kit, because I felt like I couldn't justify buying pens when I needed like eyeshadow or foundation or some new brushes, because my lip brushes or eyeliner brushes tend to die more quickly because they're finer, so I'd have to replace them. And let me tell you, makeup brushes are expensive, you know, like paint brushes are expensive, good ones. I actually got Brave and trimmed my Druidcraft. Oh, excellent, Aquarius Owl. That's exciting. How did it go? The Wildwood on my top. First, they should not do babies on the sun card. I know what we want. Knock once for yes. Oh my god, sorry. I'm having like a fucking fangirl moment. Is it Lil or is it Fitz? But hello? What the hell? I've been listening to your podcast since forever. Oh my god, who's been trolling? Hello, Ellie. I want to see what these deleted messages are. Hi, I'm new here. Hello, but maybe just give the one message. Let's see. Knock once for yes. That's just sort of made me so excited. The Summer School of Tom Benjamin's different to the book. Yes, it is. There's some crossover there, but there is some different stuff in there as well. And I really have found I've benefited from the video teaching format because because I struggle so much these days with focusing and reading. I just found it much more accessible for me, especially if I'm feeling a little, having a bit more brain fog and stuff like that. So that's been really good. So happy to hear this is on my wish list. Thought about trimming it too. Oh, you're Junebug. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Lil, just Fitz today. Lil's working. Fitz, are you bunking off work? What are you doing? You work from home, don't you, Fitz? I know you. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yeah. So Knock Once for Yes, folks. For any of you who don't know, is a really excellent podcast, UK-based podcast, and it's all about spooky stuff. And I've spoken about Knock Once for Yes in the past in my podcast recommendations. You know, when I do my like Rex videos, Knock Once for Yes comes up in those, just because it's just really great. Because also a lot of the spooky podcasts are either like US or Canadian based, which is nothing wrong with it. I listen to loads of them, but it's just nice to hear some Brits, you know what I mean, like talk about spooky stuff. And it's Lil and Fitz, they're a couple, and they talk about the spooky goings on in their own place, which is Kofi is the the acronym for Not Once for Yes. It took me ages to realize when you were saying Kofi. I thought it was like some joke thing about coffee. It took me ages to work that one out. But they talk about, they share listener stories, and some of them are voice recorded. I've actually given in a couple of voice recorded stories myself, and they've been played, which was weird hearing myself back just what's the word, just audio, because whenever I hear myself back, usually if I'm editing or watching stuff back, there's video, so it's weird just hearing my like disembodied voice. And then they often do like a historical section where they talk about a spooky castle, and basically they go and visit these places around the UK, and they talk about any spooky experiences they had in them. They talk about the history of the place and any ghost stories associated with the place. Obviously it's been a little bit different with lockdown and everything, but it's been really fun to listen to. And sometimes they have guests on. There was one, when was it, 2019, they had a guy that is like an expert on a Ouija boards and collects Ouija boards. That was really cool. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you like spooky ghost stories and you like history, go watch Not Once for Yes. Not watch, listen. No, because you do a video version, don't you? Do you do video version? Because I always listen to the podcast version on Stitcher, so I can do other stuff while I'm listening. It's almost like the very beginning. I think a friend of mine recommended your podcast to me because they like spooky stuff and they knew I'd enjoy it. And yeah, and I do. I've been listening for years. We do love our coffee. Yes, don't we all, right? Well, no, actually, that's not true. My husband hates coffee. Don't we all? I'd love to go ghost hunting. Do you know what? I'm so much of a skeptic, but I'd still enjoy going for a ghost hunt. I found two right here. Just about as haunted as my house gets. Oh, look, we've got more immature people in. The videos are pretty much still photos from oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realise that. No, but that's good to have the photos. Yeah, it sucks. We're all stuck at home. You didn't take over my show. I go on massive like squirrel chases all the time. I have like a squirrel brain, not a squirrel, but like it's fine. I went on a segment. What do you call it? A sojourn, an offshoot into like talking about periods earlier. So, but glad you missed that one, Fitz. So yeah, thanks Jennifer for sorting that out. So Essence 818, hello, lovely to see you. Care Bear. I've not been called that for about 15 years. Care Bear. Tangent, yeah, tangent, that's the one. Thanks, Candy. My brain can't even think of the words. But anyway, I've been on for an hour and 8 minutes. What the fuck? Segway? Yeah, Segway is another good one, Diane. I obviously, thanks Leanne, I made these myself, maybe coming to my Etsy shop soon. Ooh. So shameless self-plug there. So yeah, I need to go make some lunch, even though I ate some cake not that long ago. I think I should probably start cooking something. I'm gonna make some noodles, udon noodles. I've got some pak choi. I've got some bell peppers. What else have I got? Anyway, you don't need to know what I'm cooking. That's boring. Hello, Rona. But yeah, thank you for this random procrastinate stream. I totally ended up talking about a bunch of different things that I had a couple of things in the back of my head that I thought I might talk about, and I don't think I really touched on. This is the thing with like impromptu lives. They always they go and do their own thing. But thank you so much. Yeah, I think I need some more caffeine. Thank you so much for joining me and helping me procrastinate from the things that I should be doing. I will be back. I plan on hey Vijay, thank you for your comment. I really don't give a shit what you think. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you for joining in. Oh, Kristen, yeah, sorry, no. And yeah, I don't know what's to come after that. If you like arty stuff, you can bounce over to my Kelly Bear Art channel, and I will I haven't posted anything on there for a few weeks because, like I said, I've had other stuff going on. But I will we'll be uploading some more stuff to that soon. Once I get my ass into gear. So yeah, don't worry about blocking him because we're going off. What kind of cake did I have, Diane? I had a miniature Victoria sponge cake. It was very wee and very tasty. So yeah. Bye, Kim Moon and Kristen. Sorry that you caught the very tail end. But yeah, I'm just waffling. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. Goodbyes are so hard. But yeah, stay safe. Stay well if you can, and I'll see you in the next one. And thank you again for joining me and my waffling. Ciao.